Hi there, my name's Adam Fielding, and welcome to another music making session. I had a bit of a break last week with just talking about the music that I'd written over the past few weeks, and this week I thought I should probably just get back into it and see what pops out. So a few people had asked me before whether I could write a tune from scratch during one of these sessions using nothing but stock devices in Reason. And I was kind of apprehensive about doing it, but then I thought, sure, why not? Why the hell not? So it's nice and sunny here, so I thought it'd be nice to write something kind of loungy and chilled out. So that's exactly what I'm planning on doing today. So my first port of call will be to reduce the tempo to about... Actually, let's click it. Let's... Nice, 69. No, I might go a little quicker than that. I'll probably go about 75. So, yeah. So where am I going to start with this? Oh, God. So sticking with stock devices, one thing, I'm going to be using Reason 11 Suite, which does give me a lot of leeway in terms of what I can use, which is excellent. So I am going to introduce a electric bass, because I feel like that'd be a good place to start with something kind of loungy, something, you know, a nice bass line to get things going. Kind of gravitating towards. Interesting. Right. Okay. I'm not going to spend ages messing around with a bass patch. I'm just going to play a few and see what sticks. Cloverma asks, that's the old electric bass refill and a rack extension, isn't it? It is. I used to use the electric bass refill all the time, and in fact it's on my first album, Distant Activity, which came out in 2008. So it's really cool that it's found new life as a rack extension. And yeah, so it's really nice that I can actually bring this in, because otherwise I'm not really sure where I'd start, to be honest. So I like that. I'm kind of gravitating towards I kind of like that. Nice. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna have a play around with this. I might compress it in a bit, but I think what I need to do for now is to just get things going. I'm going to turn the volume up and then mess around in the mixer to turn that down. Right. Okay. Let's just start programming some stuff. So I'm leaning towards F for some reason. I'm going to go A. Right. Okay. So. Just thinking, just trying to put myself in the kind of that sort of airy 070 kind of frame of mind before I get going, because I feel like a lot's going to hinge on the bass line. I feel like I'm sort of ramping up my own expectations here. So that's that's actually not bad. Let's do something with that. I feel like I might be overthinking this. I'm sort of thinking maybe I should start with the drums and then work the bass around that. Yeah, I think I'll do that actually. And yeah, I feel like I need something to get this idea going. So I'm going to create an instance of redrum, which is one device I can still rely on. So I'll head into Drum Supply and just grab a couple of samples to start. So so I'm thinking that'll do actually. And I might introduce a snare. Yeah, just pick a snare drum. So I'll see what I've got going here. Let's have a look in the old snare drum library. That's actually not bad. So snare. Oh, I quite like that. Okay, here's someone coming in. Right, so yeah, those are kind of punchy. So I'm thinking if I yeah, so I'm thinking if I did have a I have like a reliable sort of insert section that I've been using in previous tracks, which I've kind of replicated a bit here using stock devices. So there's a bit of an EQ bump around 12K, goes to a pulverizer for some compression and a bit of crunch. It also tickles the highs with the filter section, and then that's being limited. So if I just I think that works. So if I think that snare's a bit loud, but if I get a hat as well, and then I can maybe try using Old Faithful beat map. So I think I'm overthinking this. I think yeah, that'll do. Yeah, so I just need a little cheeky hat. So right, okie dokie. So interesting. Just having a look at the chat now. I imagine you've been asked this before, but do you plan to release the music you make during these sessions at any point in the future? I do. I'm not entirely sure what to do with them yet. I feel like it'd be a really interesting exercise to take those existing tracks and use them as demos and kind of flesh them out using some of the tools I'm more familiar with outside of Reason. When I say outside of Reason, I mean not rack extensions, I mean using VSTs but still working inside of Reason. So I think that could be an interesting exercise, but I feel like that's something I'll tackle some other time. Redrum is my favorite Reason device, no nonsense, does exactly what it says on the tin. Yeah, I really like it. And Buskin Bills has said King of Kong is a good library. I've never checked it out myself, but I've heard nothing but good things. So yeah, I feel like at the moment I'm in a really good place in terms of drums, but if I was looking for stuff, I would definitely check that out. It's available in the Reason Studio shop, which someone has just mentioned. So yeah, I'm just going to fire up a beat map and select Arid, because I feel like something like 4 on the floor, that'll be nice and steady for what I'm going for. So I'm going to turn the hat density down a bit and click on Spawn XY and see what pops out really. So move around. Let's mute that. I think that could actually work. It's nice and chilled. So I'm determined to make this work. That could be a nice sort of chilled. So I'm going to add some ghost notes, which you can add using the articulations, which are part of the Reason Electric bass. So if I can't remember which notes they are, though. There we go. So just add a couple of those. That should kind of tie things together a bit. I think that's a bit too heavy. No, that's not right. So I'm thinking I might add a slide. think I'm just going to rearrange this. Yeah, now I'm thinking I want to mess around with this. So, yeah. Yeah, this is coming together, I think. Yeah, so I'm thinking... That's better, yeah. Right, okay. I realise at the moment this sounds quite robotic, and having some interesting suggestions here. I always think that looks like a face down there, 2 eyes and a nose at the bottom of the beat map. Let's have a look. It totally does. I'm seeing 2 eyes and a weird angry face. Well, weird confused face. That's hilarious. So yeah, like I was saying, at the moment this sounds quite robotic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those extra ghost note articulations and split that into a new note lane, so that I can mess around with the timing of the actual notes using the Groove Mixer, which is a personal favorite of mine. Oh, it gets even better at the bottom of the map apparently. Right, so I'm 901 1129. In fact, I'm going to write that down, otherwise I'm going to forget the position of my drums. At the bottom. Oh, I'm intrigued. Oh man. That is the goofiest thing. Oh, I love it. I love it. That was totally worth it. Oh. Brilliant. Oh man. That's slightly terrifying now that it's in use. So for anyone who's unaware, I left. For anyone who's unaware, I've added... This is the thing that it just keeps giving. I've added a couple of features to the chat. So if you use the command !save, I hear a klaxon, and I'm reminded to save my project, which is nice. As Buskin Bills has said, not sure that's a good move. There is a cooldown period on it, because I know that otherwise people would be spamming me to save all the time. But there's also another function, which is !FSB, which plays an old sample from the Reason 1 Factory Sound Bank, which I love that sample, and I thought it'd be fun to throw in. So, but that's also got a cooldown because I'm a gigantic killjoy. So, yeah, so if you're watching this on Twitch, then feel free to mess around with those. I thought it'd be fun. I was setting up an overlay earlier so you could see sort of chat in the bottom right. I should probably just, yeah, that will do. It's close enough. Yeah, I think that's better. The D doesn't really work. So. Brilliant. Yeah, that's the weird Factory Sound Bank sound, which, yeah, so those are the 2 commands I added today. It's been a fun day. So I'm going to move that to the top, and I'm going to add some Groove Mixer to the electric bass. So what I'm doing here is I'm applying channel A1 on the Groove Mixer to the bass sequencer lane. I'm going to introduce some random timing just so it sounds a little bit more human. Sorry to be that guy. No problem. I mean, I put it there for a reason. I love that sound. 808 state sound. It is. It totally is. I hadn't twigged that. That's really funny. Man, that sound must be really old then. That's hilarious. It wasn't. I know it was in the Reason 1 Factory Sound Bank because I used it loads. So yeah. I feel like I want to add like a slide. Not that kind of slide. So. Is it C1? C#1? Yeah, it is. It's not really having a lot of time to work though, so Yeah, that's better. So there's a little bit of a slide. It just kind of gives a bit of variety, and I'm just going to vary the velocity of these notes manually just to give it a bit of a... So I'm just going to copy and paste that and modify the velocity here at 20%. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that's a nice sort of, oops, that's a nice funky little start. So yeah, so I'm going to leave that for now, and I feel like I want to add some extra percussion. I'm going to just have a look at the mixer and make sure my levels are reasonably okay, because I'm mixing entirely on cans, so I'm relying mostly on sight. Interesting. Just looked it up now. That sound is Loon Garden from the EMU Emulator 2 and has been heard in tracks since 1989, which makes sense, as I remember it being in every third track in the early 90s. Fascinating. I didn't expect to be on the receiving end of fascinating knowledge. I've just had a Diastro tipped $3.81. What's your favorite kind of tea? Oh, when you say tea, I mean, I'm assuming you mean beer, but that is a really tricky question, because I'm one of those people who, I appreciate a good tea or beer, but I will drink pretty much everything, which does make me sound like a bit of an alcoholic. I'm quite fond of most of Magic Rock's offerings in Huddersfield. They're a local brewery. They're awesome. I'm currently drinking the same thing I had last week, which is Off Tempo's Milkshake IPA, which is all right. I thought it sounded fun, so I grabbed a couple. But it's I feel like it built itself up in my mind a bit more than I was expecting. I don't know. I have to get back to you on that one, but I do love most of Magic Rock's offerings. I love Salty Kiss, and I love how most of their beers have dirty names. And Cannonball, that's awesome. But yeah, it depends on what mood I'm in. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to come back with a favorite tea list. So right, okay. So I'm gonna add some percussion. So what I'm gonna start doing is moving stuff over. So I don't have everything in one continuous rack. And so, right, I'm going to add a Dr. Octorex. I feel like that'll be a good way to get some percussion going. So I'm going to head into the Reason Factory sound bank. I'm kind of thinking like a sort of early noughties kind of loungy sound. So I feel like this will be a perfect place for some of that sort of fodder. So... chemical beats it's got to be. So I mean, I'm gravitating towards that, so I'm probably going to use that. So I'm actually going to sequence this myself so it matches the beat map stuff I've got here. What I'm going to do at some point... Jester has said, thank you, I did really mean tea. Oh man, in that case, I'm more of a coffee man, to be honest, but I do love a cup of Yorkshire tea, which is... My dad's really into this Welsh tea that I've really liked, but I can't remember the name of it. But Clubmat said, try the old hip-hop folder. I'm gonna see how this goes, because I think if I filter this, I could get something really interesting. So I've zoomed way too far in. It's a problem with using grid mode. I'm going to turn that down because it's going to be way too loud. I think that could work if I mess around with it a bit. I think I'm gonna keep that in the maybe pile, and I'm gonna do as Clovermutt suggests and head into the old hip hop folder, which, ooh, crunchy. I really like these, but I think they're a bit too much. Oh, that could be good. I'm just gonna drag that in. So I don't get the audio, I'm just dragging it into the rack. So if you drag a Rex loop into the sequencer, it copies it as audio, whereas if you drag it into the rack, it creates an instance of the Dr. Octo Rex. And today I'm feeling more in a kind of slicey sort of mood, so I'm going to mess around with that. I'm just going to enable, actually I'm going to copy that to track and stick a high pass filter on that. See how that sounds. I think what I'm missing is the whole thing sounds incredibly dry, so I'm going to create a instance of RV7000, and I'm going to load up a patch called, an ambient patch called Studio, which kind of you can use to introduce some nice subtle roomy reverb, and I think that's going to help everything sit together a bit better. So that's too much. I think that could work if I adjust that filter oddly. I'm thinking some more percussion would be good. Basically, my plan for now is to get a block going, surprise, surprise. In fact, I'm going to copy all of this into a block. And my keyboard's not working. That's not particularly useful. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, my keyboard is working. I just accidentally created an instance of on-screen piano keys, which was hidden. So, Distro asks, I know this song uses only Reason stock devices, but have you ever checked out Valhalla DSP reverbs? I have, and they're fantastic. I use Valhalla delay on everything because it's awesome. Like, there's something about it that just, it has a depth that other software delays that I've used don't have, and I can't really describe it. That sounds really nebulous and kind of nerdy, but it's really, really good. I really like it, and I really like their policy of not having sales, just charging a fair price for everything. So Valhalla delay is like $50. I'd strongly recommend checking it out if you want to expand beyond the Echo in Reason, which itself is very good. I'm going to be using a fair bit soon, I imagine. But yeah. Yeah, I need to check out their reverb, because I've used some of it in the past, but this was before Reason had VST support, and I've been using the DR1 for everything, and it might be nice to introduce something new just to kind of to give DR1 a bit of a hand. I've been relying on it quite heavily, so yeah. So anyway, I'm going to introduce some extra percussion. So I'm thinking, sticking with factory soundbank loops, I might venture into the loop supply folder soon, because that'll be interesting. But I'm thinking, just let's have some shakers. Can't really go wrong with shakers. So even if I'm just using like bits of it, I think that'll be interesting. So let's have a, that'll do. It's more, I just kind of want the start of that. I think I don't think I need all of that. So if I copy that to the track and just yeah, I think if I just have like the first bit of that. Yeah, I feel like that's a nice steady groove. So yeah, I know this is turning into a bit of a Valhalla shilling session, but their stuff is really, really good. I was actually fortunate enough to beta test Valhalla Delay, and because I basically was the token Reason tester on the team, and I made sure it worked in Reason. I didn't really have anything constructive to say besides, this sounds really good, guys. Like, I can't wait to use this, and I've been using it on everything pretty much ever since. So yeah, something in. I might stick with my percussion. Like, I want to add some more percussion and just get my percussion out of the way and move on to something else. For one thing I am going to do is I'm going to bounce what I've got here in the beat map to the rack. And the Phoenix verb from Exponential Audio is great and only $9. I saw that. I was really tempted, but I figured I feel like I've got enough reverb in my life with the DR1, but I'm really tempted. So what I'm going to do is, before I put this into a block, is I'm going to turn this back on and bounce some fills from here. So I'm going to turn on direct record and arm the redrum channel and record it and just play with it, see where it goes. So here we go. Yeah, I think that'll do. That's a nice little chunk of like fills that I can use there, and now I don't have to rely on the beat map for variations. I can just do it myself. So I do sort of wish I'd turned down the variation on that, the density on the hat, so I might remove some of those or just turn it down because it's a bit... I'm also going to add an open hat. Oh, I'm in the hi-hats folder, that's handy. Which I can bring in later. Something. That might do. It's just kind of short and to the point. So I realise this isn't the most exciting part of the song creation process, but I feel like if I get the foundation right, I can kind of build around that and get something nice going. So old, let's get that going. Something a bit... Oh, I can't... No, that's a... let's see. Nah, it's too much. That's too... it's not really the flavour I'm going for. Buskin Bills said, glad you said that about the DR1. I'm just about sold on it. Yeah, I feel like this is the first time in ages I've written something without using the DR1. And I've found myself gravitating towards it, even kind of subconsciously. It's so good. I'm not sold on that hat. That's better. Yeah, I think that's more what I'm going for. So I'm thinking of adding one extra bit of percussion. I think I'm going to go in the loop supply folder here, into percussion, see what I can find. I am just flicking around here. I am super tempted to try working something like that in. Is there anything else like that? I'm just going to search for water butt in this folder. Water butt 2. Sounds similar, but yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm not convinced that's going to fit, but it will be fun finding out. So I'm just going to copy that to the track, disable loop playback, and I should start labeling my track soon. That doesn't fit, but I reckon if I filter it a bit. And add an LFO to the filter. I kind of like that, so I'm gonna start labeling this stuff. Drums. Hip hop loop. I'll just call them by their folder names: chemical loop, shakers, and water butt loop. Butt loop. I think we need a pad, and I think I'm going to turn to I think I'm going to turn to Europa for this. So I'm going to create an instance of Europa and not rely on my Europa patches folder for a change. I'm going to dig into the factory sound bank and see what's in here. So if I go back to the pads folder, I'm thinking so we have, oh no, that's not what I want at all. Nice. That's never going to get old. Yeah, I need to add a bunch more stuff in the chat that people can just play at me, because that does tickle me. That's nice, but it's a bit too much. Together Forever, that sounds interesting. I reckon I can make that work. It's a bit loud at the moment. Yeah, I reckon if I add a bit of reverb to that, and by a bit I mean a lot, so I'm going to use RV7000, and oh man, this takes me back. This used to be kind of my go-to setup when I was using the RV7000 for everything. It's kind of muscle memory at this point. It's to switch to arena mode, increase the size to get a massive reverb wash, turn the high Q up, turn the high frequency down around sort of there-ish. Use the EQ to massively roll off the lows as much as you can, just because, and that's pretty much it. That was my go-to for years. Yeah. Let's try sequencing some bits. Let's keep that kind of. It's sounding kind of dark at the moment, so maybe if I had some higher. Just realised I haven't actually put this in a block yet, so let's do that before I get too carried away. Oops, that's exactly not what I meant to do, but this has reminded me. There we go, right. I'm thinking of adding something kind of like something. Interestingly, I've just realised I think Together Forever might actually be one of my patches from the factory sound bank, which is kind of funny because I did kind of, as soon as I heard it, I was like, I think this will fit the track. So that's kind of interesting. So even when I'm trying not to raid my own patches folder, I am inadvertently in the form of the factory sound bank. I just feel like it could do with more. I think it could do with some delay. Let's have some echo. So if I turn that dry wet down, let's have some ping pong delay just to give it a bit of width. And I'm just dialing in some stuff there. See, now I think that was one of my patches, but now I'm starting to doubt myself. I think it was. So I'm thinking I want to add something with kind of an acoustic-y feel to it, but I feel like the reason Factory Soundbank isn't exactly renowned for good acoustic-y instrument. I feel like that's a bit harsh, but I mean, I want to add a piano, but I want to add something kind of guitar-y, so I'm going to add a guitar. So I'm going to create an instance of the NNXT and see what goodies await me here. Oh, that's handy. So that's actually not as bad as I was expecting. I mean, it was always going to be kind of sort of general MIDI, but sorry, I feel like I'm slagging off all the samples in the Factory Soundbank at the moment. They're serviceable. I mean, I'm hoping to make something reasonable out of them. So let's I want something kind of. Oh no, that's too. I mean, that's similar and was kind of what I was going for. So I feel like in order to disguise the fact that it's kind of a synthetic sound, I was thinking I might apply a bit of reverb and a bit of delay. And by a bit of delay, I mean a lot of delay. Just so it kind of has more of a kind of like electroacoustic-y feel, if that makes sense. So I didn't turn dry wet down. Well, that's nice. I want to do something with that. Okay, let's add that. Let's see where that goes. What was it? It was. Okay, cool. Right. It wasn't G, it was F. That is quite a lot of delay, but I'm thinking that might work nicely in the mix. I'm going to reduce that so we get kind of a little bit of fret noise at the end. And I'm going to add some slight timing variance. There's a lot of talk of adding players to this, which I think is an interesting idea, but that was weird. I think it's an interesting idea, but I feel like I'm not entirely sure that's going to work in this instance. I mean, I can give it a go. I'm just kind of happy with this idea, so I feel like I'm poo-pooing everyone's ideas, but let's just listen to that in isolation. Oh yeah, I forgot to disable that. I'm not sure it's going to work in the context of the tune, but I have an idea for something else I want to add there as well. Yeah, that's better. I think it was that last G flat that wasn't really doing it for me. If I just add an extra. Yeah, so those repeats are nice. Yeah, I was kind of hoping the delay would, well, the echo would do a good job of kind of covering up the artificialness of the guitar, and I think that's kind of worked. So one other thing I want to do is I want to layer it up with an instance of radical piano, which I haven't touched yet. So these are kind of my go-to settings for radical piano. So I crank up the compression, crank up the width, and for some reason I've always done that. I always feel like in a mix, having loads of compression on radical piano always works, which obviously you don't really want to go for if you want like an intimate kind of piano, like a solo piano piece. But even then, I feel like it kind of works for what I tend to go for. So yeah, so I'm going for an upright feel with I've turned the character down to subdued, so it's more of a soft feel, and I'm just gonna copy and paste what I've got there over and see how that sounds. That's nice. That's kind of layering things up nicely. I've just realized I haven't actually really checked this out in situ for a little while, but we'll get to that. So I'm going to apply the same irregular like groove mix. Actually, I might use a different groove mixer channel and add more irregularity to the piano. I feel like I can get away with more timing imperfection with a piano like that. So, and I'm going to transpose one of these lanes up an octave. And I'm going to use the same effects I've got on the acoustic piano, on the acoustic guitar on the piano. Maybe dial the delay down a bit. That's nice. Right, let's how's that sounding? Diastro says that groove mixer trick is very nice. Why am I just learning about that today? It's fantastic. It's been kind of a go-to use of the groove mixer for me for years, where you can just introduce non-destructive random timing to elements in the sequencer. And if you decide you don't like it further down the line, you can just literally just turn that down. And it's really good. I used to use the logical editor a lot in Cubase, which you can use to do a similar thing, but it's all destructive. So once you change elements in the sequencer, that's it. At least this was the case when I used it back with Cubase SX3. I need to sink my teeth into the logical editor in Cubase 10 a bit more. But it's really, really cool. I love that kind of the idea that if you want to go back and change things, you're totally free to do that. Just mess around. And that's really cool. That's one thing I really like about working with Reason, is the fact it offers you the freedom to mess around with ideas. If it doesn't work, the undo functionality is pretty solid, and it works really nicely with VSTs. In fact, I think it's kind of an unsung feature of VST support in Reason since 9.5 is the fact that undo just works, which is fantastic. And it's something that's missing from a lot of DAWs even now. So yeah, Diastro's asked, so it doesn't alter MIDI notes in the sequencer, it's all being calculated in real time. Yes, it's different every time you use it, so it's cool. It's cool. That's so cool. I've been using Reason since Reason 2, and each stream makes Reason feel brand new, I'm assuming. This is seriously like going to class at Reason University every Thursday. Thanks for doing these. I love it. So thanks so much. I'm really, really happy that you're getting this out of it. It's so cool that you're using it, and yeah, I love it. And I just love writing music, and it's really cool to be able to share it with people, and it's nice to try other ideas like writing a tune using stock devices, which is something I probably wouldn't have done on my own. So it's really neat. I love it. So I'm just going to change this here, and I'd say this every time, but I really appreciate everyone taking the time to just watch this and hang out and watch me make some noise. It's great. So rack plugin. Yeah, I still haven't really used the Reason rack plugin a whole lot yet. So I need to get on that. Save, yeah. So Yeah, I haven't used it a whole lot, but I do want to experiment with, I keep saying I want to experiment with live session view using the Reason Rack plugin, but I can never really bring myself to do it because I just want to sit down and write music. So maybe when I'm feeling a bit more crazy and I'm like when I'm in a weird multi-band compressor creating mood, I'll mess around with the Reason Rack plugin a bit more. I know the AAX version of the plugin came out earlier this week, which is really cool if you use Pro Tools, but I don't. So here we go. This is quite interesting because so far it's quite, the whole construction of this has been very, very simple. I'm kind of liking that. Clovermutt has just pointed out, nice sunsetty gradient in the sequencer lanes, appropriate to the track. Yeah, so I was kind of, my original plan was to go for something with kind of a sort of airy 070s sort of vibe to it. And it's nice to be able to do that. I feel like it's appropriate to the mini heat wave we're experiencing in the UK at the moment, at least here. Although, excuse me, in Huddersfield, anything that isn't a bleak grey sky for more than 5 minutes is a bit of a heat wave. So there we go. So just remembering, I've still got this whole selection of fills here. That's a fantastic trick, and I've been using that a lot. While we're at it, how about we fix the grey octa? Oh yeah, screw that. Right, let's give it a nicer color. Let's have, this is the important stuff. So oh no, that doesn't work. Oh no, the gradient is ruined. I need something between purple and blue. This is not a dilemma I thought I would have in the middle of a stream. So I'm gonna give that a nice lilac-y color. No, I've ruined every. Actually, no, that's nice. Yeah, it's nice. I'm going with that. That's nice. Yeah, that's it. Stream over. I'm done. I feel a few people have kind of compared what I've been doing with these streams to Bob Ross, which is a comparison I can 100% get behind. Like, I'm so totally on board for that. And I feel like me just messing around with the colors of the clips in the sequencer is kind of, it's not helping at all. So I'm out of here. Yeah, I can't say I blame you. Right, so yeah, let's change that to a nice dark blue. No, that's ruined it. No, I'm leaving it. There we go. Right, okay. Right, okay. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna mess around with the colors anymore. No. You shouldn't indulge this behavior. It's don't encourage me. Right. So I'm thinking I might start extrapolating from that, and actually I might create a second block, and vary the bass, because I want the bass to follow the melody a little more. So. Oh, lovely. Oops. That's not really working. Yeah, it's not really doing it for me, so do want that to Yeah, I'm not sure that's doing it. Keep pressing the Windows key instead of Alt. Clovermutt has said, this is giving me early John Hopkins circa Opalescent vibes. Me too, actually. That is a bang-on comparison. Yeah. That's really interesting. Buskin Bills asked, do you ever check your scale, or do you just know it's right? Generally speaking, I tend to just go from here, because my music theory knowledge is pretty limited. Like, I know enough to get by, basically. And enough to know if something sounds obviously wrong. He says, sequencing a bass line that sounds wrong in several places so far. But yeah, I haven't really studied a lot of music theory. I've studied a bit, and I just prefer working by ear. It's weird. I think the most I ever used my music theory in a real life situation was when I was playing with a band, and even then would just spend most of the time getting drunk and arguing with the drummer. So yeah, I do use the chord and scale player in Reason sometimes if I want to get an idea down immediately, and then I'll kind of extrapolate from that. Something I like doing is using the chords and scales player to create a basic kind of chord progression, and then take individual notes and layer them across several different instruments. So that's a really, really easy way of getting ideas down and going, which is really cool. But yeah, I do use the chords and notes player. It's really cool, and like I said, it's really useful for getting ideas down. But I try not to rely on stuff like that too much, because I feel like it does take a bit of the human element out. He says, knowing that about a month ago I wrote an entire tune using nothing but players. But even then, I discussed this last week. I feel like it did take a bit away from my connection with the track, which was quite interesting. But there we go. That's the problem with having massive delays, is when you make a mistake, you can spot them for hours afterwards. Kind of like that weird D at the end. That works for me, I think. So which one of these? Even now, instinctively, I keep oh, that's weird. I keep going back to the sequencer view when I could just flick between sequencer lanes using these buttons at the side. Although I'm not entirely sure why that's not working. So if I just bring that up an octave. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not sold on that high note. Yeah, I think that there needs to be an F. That just doesn't work otherwise. So if I hadn't been sitting here watching you make this from scratch, I would totally expect Tracy Thorn singing to come in at this point. Yeah, unfortunately, I tried doing the female vocal thing during a stream when I was making Kinesis, my drum and bass track. I don't think that's really going to cut it here. I'd love to try it, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. Yeah, so that's a nice little variation at the end there. I can always start introducing some other stuff. So right, I've got 2 blocks that are kind of similar down. So I'm going to start the track with block 1. Not entirely sure how I'm going to start this track, whether I should bring the bass in immediately or have it fade in. Oh, have it fade in. Let's do it air style. Yeah, okay. Nice. So I'm going to automate the volume on the bass and have that fade in over the course of that section there. And... mute some of these guitar-y bits. Okay, I think that's a rough structure for the intro. I feel like I need to add something else there though, so... I am super tempted to try something really ridiculous in a second. You need an extra note on 3 and 4. Yeah, I kind of want to vary that, so... yeah, I'm going to grab these bits out of that block, and... oh, I'm confusing myself now. Right. So, no, I need that. There we go. Yes, excellent. Right, just to vary the notes up a little bit, I'm thinking I'm going to route those 2 through a group bus and call that guitar piano bus, nice and original, and have that filter in via the SSL mixer, and maybe, just maybe, add another instance of RV7000, and let's go to town on this. Let's get some weird, nice big atmospheric washes going on here. So again, I'm going to use my old setup of use the EQ to completely roll off the lows massively, set it to arena mode, crank up the size, crank up the decay, bosh, done. So yeah, old faithful setup. Just realised I've got a real dilemma here, because I can't use my old trick of using the sound of a closing bin lid to create a sweeping sound with the DR1. So I'm gonna have to vary my go-to method for transitions here. So I want something in the factory sound bank that has a bit of a kind of slammy kind of sound. So I'm gonna go into the redrum drum kits folder. Nice. Save reminder. There we go. Saved. I'm thinking I want something with like a kind of hit kind of sound. So I'm thinking percussion high. I reckon I could do it with a tambourine, you know. I reckon I could do it. I'm going to do it. Right, okay. I'm taking a tambourine sample. I'm going to go to town on this. I'm going to remove the start because I don't really want that. And I'm just going to take that chunk and stretch it massively. So bear in mind, this is just a tambourine, which I've kind of killed. Yeah, I've totally killed that. I'm not convinced that's going to work. I think I might have taken too much out of that. Let's just stretch that. I think it needs that initial. So I'm going to reverse that and feed that in. Apply a massive high pass filter to that and absolutely drown it in reverb. So this is kind of similar to what I did in my previous live streams where I was taking the sound of a bin closing and using that as like a sweeping effect. Except this time I'm taking something from the factory sound bank, a tambourine, and praying that it works. And I'm not convinced, so let's try it. Let's try it. Oh, it's a bit harsh at the end, but I think it could work. I think it could work. Maybe a different sample. Maybe a different sample would do the trick. But I think we're onto something here. So, if anyone has any suggestions for samples I could try, I am totally open to suggestions at this point because I'm just trying here. So I'm still thinking redrum. Like, I feel like, click house. Oh, I want samples, right? Effects. Ooh, stretch that bird. Oh, that's a fantastic idea. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to grab that because I think that's a cool sound. But I am totally going to find that. And I know where it is. It's in effects box. What's it called? What's it called? Jungle Bird. Right, okay. I'm getting it from all angles. Right, I'm taking that. I'm going to stretch it, reverse it. Oh, God. Right. Let's turn that up. I'm not entirely sure why that's so quiet. Let's put that back. Stretch that out. That's where I want it to go. Right, okay, reverse. Sounds a bit demonic. How high is your high pass filter? Oh yeah, that's right, I've cranked it up to 4K, so that's probably rolling everything out. I'm not convinced that's going to work. Actually, let's pop it up an octave. Clothmat says, I like the demonic edge. I like it, but I'm not entirely sure it's fitting tonally with the track I'm going for. But we'll see. We'll see. Totally works. I'm just going to... That does totally work. I'm leaving that. Right. Okay. That's hilarious. I'm so glad I tried that. Thanks for the idea, guys. Yeah, I love that. I'm happy. Let's move those to the side. Yeah, you'd want to automate a fill or something to get that, like automating reverb really fast. I think with the sweep I want a bit more decay on the reverb. Actually, maybe not. Actually, I think that... I'm actually really happy with how that weird water bot loop thing turned out, because I feel like that should not fit at all. In fact, just I want to listen to it again. And yeah, that should not fit this track. That's kind of funny. Now let's use one of these fills. That fill sounded exactly the same, so I'm just going to put that in the bin immediately. That sounded very similar. I think the further along I go, that's what I want. And then I can introduce the pads after that. I think that'd be nice. Yeah. So let's grab... That's not what I meant to do at all. Yeah, I think that reverb on the guitar and piano, I think that needs to be longer, as is often the case with me using the RV7000. Oh, that's nice. See, I was going to try something really ridiculous with that bird sample in the intro. I mean, I still have, and I'm glad I did it because it sounds kind of hilarious. Actually, I'm going to introduce that in a second. Sorry, my train of thought is just gone. I'm going to bring that chemical loop in first, I think. Because I think that supports the main drum line quite nicely. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Anyway, I was saying I was going to use that ridiculous bird sample for something else in the intro. I felt like there needed to be something kind of like a sort of atmospheric kind of thing. And I was going to try using that bird sample, just throw it in grain and see what popped out. And now I'm thinking I need to throw something else in grain and see what pops out. So, but I feel like there's no shortage of ridiculous things I could throw into grain and see what pops out. So let's do that. So I'm going to create an instance of grain and pop that over into a separate column. And let's have a look. What's in the factory sound bank? Other samples, FX Vox. Now we're talking, right?
We're gonna take a little break right now. When we come back, Carol Kane later tonight at midnight.
No. Actually, I'm going into the chords folder because the FX Vox folder is a silly place. I'm not sure I can make that work, but I will certainly try. Okay, that's interesting. Right. I can't believe that worked. Right, okay, let's turn the rate down. I just want to mess around with it, kind of maybe create something a bit different. I'm sure if I put that through a bit of reverb, that will sound quite nice as like a sort of intro sound. Yeah, here we go. Now my old faithful setup. Let's not roll off all the lows. Right, okay. So that's C3. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. Quite like that. Right. I think maybe if I have it going from forwards backwards, I think that'll work better in that context. Right. I'm really surprised at how that's worked. I'm just going to call it intro grain texture. I might bring that back. In honor of the bird sample and its enduring worth, I submit a track title suggestion, Phoenix. I actually quite like that. So yeah, that's definitely a potential. In fact, I'm gonna save that as now, and I'm gonna call it Phoenix. Unless I could think of something better. I quite like that. It has quite a nice warm feel to it as well. So. I feel like that kind of intro thing. Oh, Phoenix Sunrise. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I'm loving these ideas. Right, Phoenix Sunrise. Let's... Ah, it's lovely. Right. I'm quite liking this whole track title by group idea. It's great. Bloody bird. I've just realised I want to have that sort of chemical break thing fade in a little bit, because it kind of comes in a little suddenly, so I'm going to use the low pass filter on the SSL to have that just fade in a little bit. I'm going to stop listening to, actually no, I'm going to listen to the intro one more time because I like it. Yeah, that was excellent timing. Cheers, Clobbermutt. That's weird. Of course, the one snare that I added is in the wrong place. This is just checking the chat. Cheetown Kid 79 has said, this is a very visual track. All it needs is a montage of a suburban teen who just got dumped by his girlfriend, walking around town, lost in memories of where they used to hang out, trying to figure out how to get her back. Yeah, cheesy, I know, lol. I quite like that visual. It's really nice. And we've got followed up, Cobham Up makes me think of playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I'm just loving the disparity between those two comments. It's incredible. Like this really sort of nice cinematic vibe, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I've been playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 again recently, and it's fantastic. I never got into 3 for some reason, but I should give it a go. So this is where block 2 comes into play. Or can I? No, I'm gonna continue using block 1 with the old bass line and filter in the pad. Is suggesting vocal washes, but I've actually got another idea that I'd like to play with first. Diastro says in the chat, it's obviously the montage of a suburban roller coaster fan wandering around town, thinking about how Swinging Ship 3 looks too intense. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, vocal washes. I'm not ruling that idea out because it would be super easy to add, but it does mean I'd be introducing stuff that isn't in the factory sound bank. But it would still be using stock devices, so I'm on the fence about that. But one thing I'm thinking of trying is, after this section, I think it needs something else. I think I need a more Philly fill. This is some deep lore. Stock Reason has audio recording. It's legit. Yeah, screw this. I'm gonna add some vocal washes in a bit. But one thing I really want to try is I'm gonna have one run of block 2 and one Stock Reason device I don't use pretty much ever at the moment is monotone. And I was just thinking it'd be kind of fun to add like a sort of leady kind of thing. And for some reason I thought monotone would be a really interesting choice for that, because not only is it's called the monotone bass synthesizer, but you can get around that by just cranking up the octave. So I'm thinking if I add a bit of delay and put ping pong on and turn it down a bit first and just generally mess about with it, I reckon I could get a really interesting lead. Kind of very, we'll see if this works. I'm not going to say anything until I've played with it because it might not work. So I'm going to use the LFO to control the filter, and I'm going to have increase the attack on the amp envelope and all right. If we have more delay, there's always room for more delay. Add a bit of reverb Might not go too nuts this time. In fact, I might not even... I'm going to go arena, and I'm going to use the EQ though. I think that this could work. This could work, or it could sound rubbish. Let's try it. I'm just going to hit record and noodle over the top, and let's see how this goes. So I'll try it. I'm going to disable my microphone because I feel like I'm going to hit it if I accidentally while playing. So I'm just going to disable it while I play. I think I need to increase the filter frequency because I can barely hear that. I think I'm onto something. I might increase the attack there. I'm going to turn the LFO up. Yeah, I'm going to turn the drive up a bit as well. I feel like there's too much affecting... I'm going to turn the chorus up a little bit as well, just to widen it. I think that attack's too long. I think that's what's doing it. Yeah, the attack's too long. I would still quite like an attack. Yeah, any Yorkshire trumpets? No. The fan got dumped by his girlfriend on a roller coaster. Oh, this is awesome. Time for some automation on the attack. That's actually not a bad idea. I think that would do it. And some automation on the filter, because that comes in too suddenly, I think. If I have that come in just like a note before as well. Maybe that's a little too soon. Better. Loving the development of the Phoenix Sunrise cinematic universe in the chat. Yeah, keep these visual ideas coming. This is inspiration. So I'm thinking this is the moment where our hero is looking up at swinging ship 3 and wondering if that's where he'll find his true love. Say where he'll find his true love, him or her, where they'll find their true love. You know, I'm being very presumptuous here. Could be anyone. I mean, in Roller Coaster Tycoon, they're all little guys, which I'd never really thought about until now, but that is weird. So, I think I'm overthinking this. I think the problem is I'm messing around with automation, the LFO on the filter too much. I just need to let it play. It's just let it do its own thing. So I feel like I'm basically, if I just have the attack. Ah, that's what I'm doing wrong. I didn't have sustain turned up, so right, yeah. Okay, let's try this again. That's kind of neat. Not gonna lie, I wish these fills were a bit more varied. In fact, that gives me an idea. Having to sequence my own fills like a sucker. There we go. Nice little fill there at the end. So I'm thinking of having like a little break. Maybe I'll introduce some vocal washes because I still haven't used that trick yet. So I could use some vocal washes, maybe bring back the pad from the start and have that play some different notes, and then go into the final section, finish a track. I like this. So yes, what is this manual sequencing madness? I know. I'm going to play this from the start just so I can get a feel for where to go. I feel like I've become too dependent on beat map for variations, but it's good to know I can still sequence a fill quickly. I love how that bird got used there. Might bring it back over here as well. It's funny, I don't remember that being there last time. Oh, I love it. Nice. Save reminder. There we go. Yeah, nice. Yeah, thanks for the save reminder during that and the fun bird sample. Yeah, I wasn't sure how that monotone would fit because I haven't quantized it or anything. I've just left it how I played it first, so I'm just going to leave it. I mean, besides changing some of the notes so that the attack would overlap, but whatever. I might change that first note. I think what it needs is some compression on when it, just because it's the level's kind of going all over the place. So I'm thinking I might just use the channel dynamics So I'll bring that in, hold down shift and drag so it reroutes it automatically. And let's compress this without going too nuts, hopefully. I mean, that's quite heavy compression, but I think it kind of works. I did say the sounds would be a bad idea. No, I think it'd been a great idea. It's definitely the right call. Right, okay. Let's have that bird coming back. Cool. Now, I think it's time to just use that, and I mean, that was a total accident, and I like how that worked, so let's roll with it. You know what we need here? I think we need a big old delay wash, and I think that's going to come from either the acoustic guitar or the piano. So I'm thinking... yeah, breakdown is a perfect place to introduce some vocal washes. I'm thinking about it. Another pad or a string section would sound nice right there. I haven't dipped into the orchestra bank yet, and I feel like if I'm sticking with stock devices, it's only a matter of time. So, first of all, I'm going to add a delay wash on the piano, and just let that ring out for a bit. Maybe not that much. That's kind of crazy. I might do the same with the acoustic guitar, but maybe not as much on the feedback. Two things I want to address. In the chat, someone's asked, Epilogue Sound asks, if there's one rack extension you'd recommend someone to buy, which one would that be? Probably at this point the DR1. I just love it. It's such a great reverb. I can't believe how much use I've had out of it over the years. It's great. And Clobber has suggested I use one of the funky string runs from the Orchestra Sound Bank, which I think is a great idea. Excuse me. Right. Yeah, DR1 all the way. It's a fantastic reverb. I should not stop the track there. So, let's have a look. Let's have a look in the Orchestra Sounds. I can't even remember where that would be. Oh no, it's in the factory sound bank. Oh, I don't know where it is now. I can't remember where the funky strings are. Oh, this is really going to bug me. Yes, the runs. Sorry, I know where they are, but I can't remember what they're called. I know exactly what they sound like. I don't think it's going to fit it's this tune, but I sort of want to try it just out of morbid curiosity. What are they called? Oh man. It'll be in strings, obviously. Runs. Yep, there we go. Right. So let's have major octave. Okay, well, Club 'em Up was suggesting I use that for an extra command in the chat, and I'm probably thinking of doing that, but I've kind of taken that the wrong way, and I want to... That's never gonna fit. Not with that attitude, anyway. Well, I've got it here, so... screw it, right. Oh no, I've got to be quick before I get deafened by delay noise. Right. Buskin Bills has asked DR1 or Valhalla. I don't know, because I haven't really used Valhalla's reverbs enough to make a decision. Personally, I'd go DR1 because I've used it most. But they're great. So, they're both good. Get both. I'm not convinced this is working. But I want it to. Make the string sound more retro, like old tapey. Well, I could try using the old Scream 4. That could do it. So this could end horribly. I don't want to turn the damage control up too much. I reckon I could actually have some strings play over that as well. Like, I'm going to try something. So I'm going to go back into Orchestra and get some violins out. And... I can't believe I'm busting out the orchestra already. Okay, I should probably put the Screen 4 before the RV7000, but I can use that same chain here. How's that sound? Ooh, no. This is not where I was expecting the breakdown to go, but I'm kind of liking it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite happy with that. Oh. Beat you to it. To face the roller coaster, you must become the roller coaster. It's these touching plot elements and the deep lore that's really drawing me into the Phoenix Sunrise universe. Someone's going to get a movie script out of this chat. Well, if they do, and they want some summery lounge tunes for it. That bass monotone is superb. Yeah, I don't really use it often enough. I only really thought of using it as a lead just now, really. I was thinking of throwing a subtractor in there, but I thought I'll give the monotone a go. And I'm glad I did, because that worked quite nicely. Clovermutt says, gotta say I love that bass. I had no interest in the electric bass rack extension before this. You've really sold it. It is really good. I used to use it all the time, and then I stopped. I actually won a competition back in 2009 using the Reason Electric Bass Refill. It was a funky bassline competition. So I feel like coming back to using the electric bass here was kind of it better not suck. My bassline had better not suck, otherwise I'm going to have a lot to answer for. It was kind of funny. A lot of people got very pissed off that I won that competition back in the day, because it was very obvious that I couldn't play bass, and the bassline wasn't really designed to be played by a bassist. But yeah, it was just funny how everyone got kind of annoyed. So yeah, that was fun. So cello. So I'm just going to add some cello here. Clubbermar has asked if you could hear my competition entry from 2009. I'll earmark that. I might play it after the stream. That'll be something fun to look for. So yeah, I might do that. Right, I think I'll have like a little fill going on there and then come back. I think we do need some vocal washes there. I think the strings on their own just aren't really cutting it for me. And that run, I think I need to bring that back because it's just a bit daft, but it was fun. No, less delay. I've been rumbled. I am currently looking for that funky bass line. I can't remember what it was called. If I could remember what it was called, it would make looking for it a lot easier. So, where is it? I know I gave it a really stupid title, like Funked Up or something. I'll look for this afterwards because I'm just going to waste a lot of time if I look for it now. But I will have a look afterwards. So if you're watching on Twitch and you want to check it out afterwards, stick around because I will find it. Damn it! Right. So I am going to record. I'm going to attempt to record some vocal washes for this bit and see how that goes. So I'm going to overlay that with the strings, and yeah, that'll be an interesting idea. So I'm going to mute myself over here. And now I'm in Reason. Excellent. I sound pretty much the same. So I am going to swap myself in Reverb. Lovely. Okay. Right, I'll just record, and here we go. Well, that sounds goofy, but I think when I pitch correct it, as I like to do. Let's completely go nuts with that. So I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, which is I'm going to use the formant shift, and I'm going to manually pitch adjust this up an octave, and this could be terrible. I need to swamp it with reverb. I think I just need to do a better take, but it's good to know that that should work. Right, let's give this a go. Heh. I'm overthinking this, and I really shouldn't, so I'm just going to record this. It's hard to record when I have so much stuff going on. So here we go. Right, let's try that on for size. Let's pitch correct that again. Maybe not as much as last time. And transpose that up an octave. And turn on the Neptune. And let's see how this goes. I mean, it's kind of funny. Oh yeah, let's change the reverb type. I forgot to do all this stuff. I think it kind of works. So someone else needs to send the save alert this time. Beating you to it. Nah. A vocal harmony where the last note goes upwards sounds like it would fit. Yep, I know exactly what you mean and I totally agree. And just to check this theory, I totally agree with it, by the way. I'm just gonna cheat. Yeah, so I corrected the wrong note. Yeah, I should just record it properly. There we go. Right. Right. Let's try that. Correct. Yep. Funny how pitch goes all over the place when you can't hear what you're doing. I'm just using that as a cover because, yeah. Here we go. Wow, that did not need transposing. I think kind of a repeat but with some extra vocal harmonies would work. Has that even corrected it? No, it hasn't. Actually, I think that'll work nicely just as it is, and I think I'm just gonna have that ring out for a bit. So, do the old delay wash trick again. think I need a bit of variation, so I'm thinking if the shaker kind of goes, I can bring that back and I'll just add a little bit of variation there. So let's do that. Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to bring in there. So there's another sample in the factory sound bank in the chords phrase. I can't remember what it's called though, so this could take a little while. Oh, I wish I knew what it was called. It might even be in the Vox folder. It's like a sort of fluty kind of thing. I'm gonna turn that down. Right. What is it called? It's not that.
What is it?
You know, I'm starting to think that it's not in that folder. And also, there goes that bird again. What is it called? Oh, I wish I could remember what it was called. It's definitely one of these ELAB patches. That's the one! Alright. Excellent. Right, okay. Brilliant. Right, okay. In fact, I'm just going to create an instance of N19 and throw that in because I feel like self-containing that would be a bit excessive. I know I'm thinking ahead, but it's great. Right, okay. Oh god, that's loud. Buskin Bills has asked, how much of the factory sound bank have you explored? All, I believe. Yeah, it's. I mean, I checked out the factory sound bank when it was considerably smaller in Reason 1, and this was one of the samples from that. So, yeah. Oops. It sticks with me because I used it all the time when I was younger with using Reason 1, so I thought it'd be fun to include. But I'm going to stop throwing stuff at this track, I think. I'm just going to copy that reverb patch and paste it there because I'm feeling lazy. Right. And I think I'm going to start winding things down at this point. Bring it back to block 1 and think I want to bring that flute back because it's kind of funny, and not have it play for all of these. I think I want some more echo on that flute thing as well, just because it's really funny. That flute just popped into my head, and I was like, I've got to put that in. I feel like it would just complete the feel of this track as being this daft loungy thing. Buskin Bills has pointed out that the mixer is looking kind of fat at the moment. It is actually. I think it's lots of percussive loops. And still only one DSP bar. Yep, that's what happens when you use only stock devices. It's amazing what you can get away with. Actually, I prefer that how it was before, so I'm just gonna put it back, pretend this never happened. There we go. Nothing happened. Do you own all the Reason Studios rack extensions? If so, would you ever consider a similar stream like this one? Excuse me. That's actually interesting. I hadn't even considered that, and it's something that would be quite interesting, I think, because I do like Parsec, I like PX7, Polar I use more than you'd think. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea, and I might have to come back to that. That's a great idea. Just wondering if I can get away with bringing that vocal bit back for this part. Yeah, cheating. Excellent. I think I might start rounding off this track. I feel like it's been on a bit of a journey. I feel like this is a nice place for it to start winding down. I'm gonna grab that bit from the start. Totally going to cheat here and just use the alter notes thing here to create a weird fill. Doesn't need to be that loud. Yeah, I feel like I should use Polar on stream at some point. I've realized I don't think I have actually used it in any of my streams so far, which is really odd. So I should. I'm thinking I might stick that that extra symbol through a reverb. And yeah, just checking the chat. I really appreciate these streams you've been doing. I learn a lot. Just wanted to say that. No, thank you for checking them out. That's really, really nice of you to say, and I'm really glad that people are tuning in, to be honest. I sort of expected this to fizzle out after a couple of streams, and I mean when I first started doing them in like 2000 and whenever it was, 2016 or something, like I didn't expect them to go anywhere, and then I just sort of lost interest. And I feel like it's been really, really fun just kind of doing these again and getting back into it. It's been really, really good and really rewarding, and it means a lot that so many people have kind of been joining me for this fun little journey. So thanks a lot. Thank you for coming along. It's really cool that people are choosing to spend their time just with me making noise, basically. It's really, really cool. That's better, right. think it's only right that I bring the bird sweep in again. And let's grab a fill and modify it and see what pops out. So, there we go. So I'm going to start bringing the elements down, rounding this off, I think. Have a bit of a delay wash there. Lovely, right. The golden 3 minutes. I'm glad I'm not the only person who does that. Gets to 3 minutes of a track and realizes, oh yeah, I've got a track now, brilliant, and then starts to wind things down. Yeah, it just felt like a kind of natural place to do that here, so I felt like it made sense. So that's nice. I might bring that grain thing back again because I really like that. Have that come in at the end. Kind of tease the melody with the piano parts there as well. There we go. Have everything fade out nicely, I think. Bring that hat down as well, I think. We just have one last piano at the end, I think. That'd be nice. I might try and have the drums fade out a little more smoothly. Let's have a listen to that. Maybe have a bass note on the end as well. So that's not right. Nice. Four minutes? I did not think I was going to get 4 minutes out of that idea. I'm happy with that. Brilliant. So I'm going to fade that piano out at the end just so the delay doesn't... it fades out properly. Just checking the chat. Buskin Bill says, I've said it before, but today you really showed it. You're awesome and your skills really show what can be done with reason. That's really nice of you to say. Thank you. And it's been a really, really fun exercise and experiment messing around with just the stock sounds. I must admit, I was skeptical about what was going to pop out, and it was fun. Like, it's not a super serious track, but sometimes you don't need a super serious track, and I'm happy with how it's turned out. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been a ton of fun seeing everyone in the chat just talking about it's been awesome. I've loved it. I really do love these music making sessions and seeing everyone get involved. It's so cool, and I feel like it's kind of a much needed bit of levity during these weird times still. Brilliant. Perfectly timed. So there we go. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this tune from start to finish and just pop over to the chat and have a look and keep my mouth shut and turn off my microphone and all that. But I think that's kind of in the bag, and I really enjoyed working on that. It was a ton of fun, and oddly, considering I feel like I did kind of just throw lots of stuff in the track to see what would stick. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I might bring that monotone back towards the end as well, because I think that'd be kind of fun. I could just quickly record something, but we'll see. I'll just play it and see how it goes. Oh yeah, that grain texture is still playing at the end. Whoops. Forgot about that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Next track has to be named Roller Coaster Redemption. I'm just going to try recording just a little extra monotone thing over the top here, so let's see how this goes. Just realised I'm recording in the wrong place. I want to be recording here. I'm not sold on that. I think I'll just mute that and just leave it there in the track as a reminder. See, my instinct is I just want to add something to that, but I feel like that's kind of going counter to the track having kind of a chilled vibe if I start just layering loads and loads of stuff on top of it. So I am going to leave that as it is, and I'm just going to make sure this grain texture actually fades out properly at the end. Fill or something, or let's bring that back, the bird. Yeah, gotta have that at the end, I think. Right. Cool. I'll add a line mixer here so I can fade that properly at the end. Yeah, I'm definitely going to stop messing around with this because I feel like at this point adding more would be a detriment to what I've already got. Which is often, it's kind of a bit of self-control is needed here, I think. So there we go. Yeah, brilliant. I'm going to leave that, and yeah, I'm surprised I only used the sweep 4 times. I like that. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm happy with what I've got there, and I'm going to leave that sort of second recording in the reason document as a memento if anyone wants to check it out. So yeah, yeah, that's Phoenix Sunrise. I'm really happy with that. I think it's the first tune I've written using nothing but Reason stock devices in, oh god, it must have been since rack extensions were first introduced. And even then I've used I've still been using rack extensions because I've been using this stuff like a Reason electric bass and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm curious as to when the last time I wrote a track entirely using inbuilt devices was. It's been a long time. Let's safely say that. So yeah, awesome. Well, and also no external samples, which is nice and very different from what I've been used to. So I'm just going to double check. Self-contained, everything is from factory sound banks and stuff like that. So that's awesome. If I were to self-contain everything, it's a whole megabyte of stuff. So I'm just going to self-contain that anyway. So yeah, brilliant. I'm happy with that, and I'll do my usual thing of checking out the song again tomorrow and giving it a bit of a tweak. And I'll probably hop on stream on Monday again at some point just to kind of go over it. But I'll wrap this up for now, and if you're watching this on Twitch, I'll stick around for a few minutes afterwards and try and find that electric bass thing. But if you're watching on YouTube, this is the end. So thanks for checking it out, and I hope to see you again next week. And I have no idea what I'm going to do. It probably won't involve using stock devices again, or maybe, I don't know, actually. That was a fun exercise. So anyway, thanks so much to everyone who's joined me in the chat. I've had a great time just following everything along, and yeah, it's been great. So thanks for joining me, and cheers for watching. So cheers, bye.